Let's Talk with Gary Gellman is brought to you by Investor Savings Bank, banking in your best interest. New Jersey Natural Gas, helping customers save money and energy through conserve to preserve. C&A Financial Group, wealth management strategies. Avery Educational Resources, college and boarding school consulting. Trinity Financial Sports and Entertainment Management Company, LLC, treating players like people and people like players. And Mountain Development Corporation.
Coming up on this edition of Let's Talk, we're in Atlantic City this week talking with legislators, elected officials from your local municipalities. We're here all week, so thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back right after this with our first guest. Welcome back to Let's Talk. We're in Atlantic City this week at the New Jersey League of Municipalities Convention, and my guest for this segment is Bill Wells. He runs the natural gas vehicles for New Jersey Natural Gas and the expansion. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Gary.
Now tell me, what's the future of natural gas vehicles?
Well, the future is very bright for natural gas vehicles. The U.S., of course, has many new proven reserves of natural gas, specifically in Pennsylvania, and they're called shale deposits. And this has resulted in very stable, low-priced natural gas prices, which is beneficial, of course, however you use natural gas. And natural gas vehicles and the technology is very proven technology, and I personally drove almost 300,000 miles on natural gas through most of the 90s.
Right, now you told me that natural gas in vehicles have gone back to the 50s. Tell me.
And perhaps even before. World War II, there were vehicles running on methane and various other gases. Natural gas is an excellent fuel for an internal combustion engine because you don't really have to change much. You just have a different storage principle. It's stored as a compressed gas as opposed to a liquid.
Right.
And it feeds through, it's pressurized, so the fuel flows on its own to the engine and goes through natural gas injectors, and the internal combustion engine actually behaves very similar to it would on liquid fuels. So
the engine, it looks the same as a regular engine?
It is the same as a regular engine. It's just a different fuel being injected into the combustion chamber.
So now tell me, fleets have been created over the last decade or two for natural gas. What companies have been using them?
Well, there's quite a few national fleets that use natural gas, package delivery fleets, and without naming names, we all know who the big package delivery companies are.
Okay.
The big push right now is for high fuel volume, fuel use customers such as the refuse industry.
Okay.
And a big surprise for us when we came to open our booth here yesterday, we are next to a natural gas powered refuse vehicle.
Really?
We have a customer of ours, Blue Diamond Disposal in Mount Arlington, New Jersey. Will be having a ribbon cutting on their new natural gas refueling station on December 8th, next month. And quite a few dignitaries will be present for that. And that particular customer will have 17 natural gas powered refuse vehicles, and they'll be purchasing another 10 next year. They'll have 27. And the cost of their fuel is 1/2 of what it would be if it was diesel.
Wow.
Plus, of course, the environmental benefits. The exhaust from a natural gas vehicle is relatively benign. Nitrous oxides, reactive hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, all reduced substantially by combusting natural gas.
Now, when they have the fill-up centers, is that you bring that in from other parts of the state? Where does that come from, or does it go right into the ground?
Well, no. As far as where does the gas come from to go into the vehicle?
Yeah.
Well, it comes through the pipelines from out west. Much of our gas here in the Northeast comes from Canada as well.
So it's all pipelined in, so it's nothing from New Jersey?
No, nothing from New Jersey. It's pipeline quality gas, comes here through the interstate pipelines, and then it would come to what we commonly refer to as a city gate. New Jersey Natural Gas takes our gas through the city gate, and it comes into our distribution system, and then it would go to an end-use compressor station. The compressor station then compresses it to roughly 3,600 pounds per square inch, PSI, into the vehicle. That gives the vehicle an equivalent amount of energy to go, a suitable range on a daily basis.
Right now, what are towns doing to get into the natural gas industry?
That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked. Some towns are actually making some of their refuse carriers, making it a requirement to bid on municipal contracts that they have compressed natural gas. And the benefits, again, are many. Towns frequently have to bear the burden of the higher fuel costs if diesel prices go up during the contract period.
Right.
Natural gas is going to allow them to keep those costs down. And also the diesel or the natural gas refuse vehicles compared to diesel refuse vehicles are much more quiet. And of course, who hasn't been awakened in the morning by a noisy garbage truck? Right. So.
And how will this compete with the electric vehicles?
There's different niche markets for all the alternative fuels. Compressed natural gas right now is ideally suited for the medium and heavy duty applications that we were just talking about.
Right.
You could, if you wanted to, you could go out and buy a Honda Civic dedicated natural gas vehicle right now. Okay. So if you had home refueling, okay, and we do have 2 home refueling devices on display in our booth. You could refuel your Honda Civic at home, okay, overnight. It's a longer process,
right,
as opposed to pulling into a larger station where you would fill in the same amount of time as a liquid fuel.
Oh, really? And how many are those in the public use now?
Public stations,
yes.
We have 3 public stations in New Jersey. We have, I think, about 25 stations total.
Okay.
Our company, New Jersey Natural Gas, has recently filed with the State Board of Public Utilities for approval to build 7 to 10 public access stations next year.
Wow.
So those would be stations that would be in our service territory and be open to the public.
Real quick, we only have a few minutes. Where will those be?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We're not fully approved.
Okay.
We're anxiously awaiting approval. And they would be in our service territory, Monmouth, Ocean, and parts of Morris County.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Bill Wells was our guest. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.